All right, so I'm a little bit conflicted right now when it comes to water changes and not doing water changes. And I've stopped doing water changes around like July-ish, and I've had tremendous success after stopping the water changes. And like my shrimp colonies all exploded. This is actually the best I've done shrimp keeping wise, breeding, since making that change. But I'm still conflicted because something still is not sitting right with me about not doing water changes. I don't know. It's just because you can, not that the tanks look dirty or cloudy or anything like that. It's just, it's just not sitting right because it's not natural. Because water does change in the real world because of rain and erosion or the water moving, things like that with wind and rain and so forth. So I think I need to find like a middle ground because even though I'm having success now, and this tank right here, there's so much shrimp in there, and I've already filled up two 10 gallons, a 20 gallon. I've taken so many shrimp out of this tank, and it just continues to like mass produce. So what I'm going to try and do and see how it works out is I'm going to do water changes, but I'm only going to do a small amount. And the reason why I stopped doing the water changes is because of the pH fluctuation. So I'm going to try out this dark water by Fritz, the almond leaf extract. So far, I don't think it's going to work. I've tried a little bit. So what I'm going to do is prepare some tank water and have it run for a little bit, get the TDS to 150, and put some, not tank water, some water change water. And I'll put some of the Fritz or this Fritz dark water in there, see if I can get the pH somewhat to what the tank pH is. So when I do like a 20% water change, the TDS will match, the temperature will match, and the pH will match. So there'll be next to no fluctuation. But I'm not confident it's going to work. I just set up this tank right here, this 10 gallon or 5 gallon rather. Nothing in it. I used some of the excess soil from the 40 breeder I took out. I'm going to probably put about 5 mLs in this tank and then test the pH. And then if there's no change, I'll test the pH prior, put in 5 ml, wait a few hours, test the pH, and then see what kind of change or how lower is this almond leaf extract going to do in a smaller tank, a 5 gallon tank with less than 5 gallons of water. And then from there on, try to measure what it will take for a bigger tank. I will somewhat have a number to work with, and then I can calculate how much I need if it works. But I don't think it's going to work. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. So, and if it does work, what I'll do is I'll prepare tanks and I'll prepare water, do some water changes, and have the pH match the tank, and then do like a 20%. Because it's the number one reason why I stopped doing the water changes because of the fluctuation of the pH. Because my RO water is neutral, and by putting that in a tank with a low pH, it raises the pH, and then over time it buffers it back down, which puts stress on the shrimp, and then you're taxing or you're shortening the life of the substrate. And ultimately in all these tanks, the one factor that you need for these tanks to thrive in a Caridina is the substrate that buffers the pH. So I'm kind of pessimistic, but I'm going to try it. I saw a bunch of people online do it, but I'm not running their test. They say it works online, but I want to test it for myself. I want to do my own chemistry. So I'm doubtful, but I'll give it a shot. And if it does work, then yeah, I'll go ahead and do the water changes with the pH buffering already in the prepared water.